Hello, welcome back. Tactical Tuesday with Johnny Tiger. The date is December 6th, 2022. Today, we're going to take a break from kicking and punching, and I'm going to tell you about my sort of a little birthday gift, Christmas gift for myself. It's been a long time since I went out of my way to purchase a knife for myself. A lot of my purchases came to training equipment, training blades, training sword, training knife. So it's been a long time since I went out of my way to get actual, genuine, uh, down to earth, real knife for myself. And uh, for years and years, I've wanted a Bowie knife, and but never really went ahead and get one. But a few days ago, I saw this little, not so little, this beauty on sale. I'll tell you guys a little bit about how much it is in a little bit. And I just have to say, you know what? You've wanted a Bowie knife for many years. You deserve a good, solid Bowie knife. So I went ahead and got it. And here it is. This is a 14-inch Bowie knife by Mossy Oak. Now, a lot of people, I'm thinking, as soon as they hear Mossy Oak, they're like, ooh, yeah, it is one of the cheaper knife brand out there. But I have handled quite a few Mossy Oak blades in my time, and they really, honestly, for this price point, it's a hell of a good knife. The blade itself is over 8 inches long, and the handle adds another, like, I don't know, 6 inches. Single-edged, really, really thick spine. This is one heck of a heavy-duty knife. The handle is two pieces of wood sandwiched around the full tang construction. You can see the thick metal poking out the tail end of the knife and the guard here. The guard has a bevel in the front, so you can choke your finger up over the guard like this if you need some better control. Uh, or you can grip it like a regular saber grip with your thumb over the back like this. Or if you really want to, you can even reverse grip and commando grip this thing. It's a little bit front heavy, but as you can see, I can actually spin this around in my hand and switch grip with relative ease. So it is really well balanced. You can even get a nice French chef kitchen knife grip like this, with finger along the back and pinching the blade like this. Uh, really nice, really nice. I'm really, really happy with this. I've done a little bit of a cutting test just a little bit ago, just messing around with this. You guys can see that on my Instagram if you go to Johnny Tiger 1981 on Instagram. Before I talk further about this knife, I want to do a little comparison just so you guys can sort of get an idea of how silly the knife pricing is on the market. For people who say, ew, Mossy Oak, that's a cheap brand, I'm going to show you guys an expensive brand and show you just really how little you get for your money. In my left hand is my Cutco K-Bar Explorer. This is a $300 knife. I'm not even kidding you. This is a $300 knife. Maybe more now. That I bought this um, back in 2011, I believe. And even back then, it was a $300 knife. Okay. In my right hand, this is my new Mossy Oak Bowie knife. The Mossy Oak Bowie knife in my right hand, this is a $30, $25 knife. Okay. So right hand, $30, $25. Left hand, $300, maybe more. Are they really that different? Let's take a look. The $30 knife comes with a genuine leather. Ah, this is like real. Nice leather sheath. Right? The $300 knife, on the other hand, come with, I don't even know what this material is. It's like vinyl, fake leather, nylon. I don't know. It's not leather. It feels kind of like rubber actually. Yeah, so whatever sheep it is, it's not leather. Okay. So for $30, $25, you get something with a leather sheath. For $300, they give you a sheath that is, yeah, okay, kind of like fake leather, right? But it doesn't. It's not as nice as real leather. Out of the sheath with one and with two. Okay, out of the sheath. Let's sit them side by side so you guys can see this. I'm going to walk a little bit closer so you guys can get a better view. Now, if I didn't tell you which is a more expensive one, what would you think? Yeah, in my left hand, $300 Cutco K-Bar Explorer. Right hand, boy, knife. I'm like totally badass at this point. Yeah. Um, this $30, $25 Bowie knife, full tang, of course. This $300 knife, full tang as well. So there's no argument there. This $300 knife, if you set them side by side, way smaller. Okay, there's a clear difference. It's way smaller than this $25, $30 knife. From the thickness of the blade to the length of the blade to just how sturdy they present themselves. Like, let me get you guys to see the back of the blade. Huh? You see how thick the blade is on this Bowie knife versus the blade on this Cutco K-Bar Explorer. The Bowie knife, $30, $25 Bowie knife, come with real wood handle, real wood scale anyway. The K-Bar Explorer come with this rubberized, stacked rubberized handle. Both of them have metal poking out the back and similar. The guards are similar to each other. However, while the Bowie knife gives you an option to rest your finger forward of the guard, the K-Bar Explorer doesn't. Okay, there's a lot of serration in front of the guard. So I mean, no one say you can't if you want to put your finger there, but you most likely you are going to cut yourself if you're not careful, right? Again, look at this. Left hand, $300. Right hand, 25, $30. I got this on sale. This was discounted to $22. Crazy, right? I mean, you look at this two, you may, if you're really good at looking at knife, you may think, you may guess, yeah, this one's left in the left hand. This K-Bar Explorer is more expensive, but you wouldn't think that it's almost 10 times more expensive. What do you get for that price? Well, you get a forever warranty that Cutco offer people. Yeah, of course. So if you ever break it, then they send you a new one free of charge. Now, if you lose it, then that's too bad for you, unless you have the original receipt. Maybe they'll send you a new one, but I don't think they'll replace a lost knife or stolen knife, only if you break one. However, I mean, depending on what you do with your knife, I just can't see too many people breaking this. I mean, if you're going to break something like this Bowie knife, you have done something really crazy with your knife. Now, some people will say, well, maybe it's different in the steel. Maybe it's steel. Well, this $300 knife, this is stainless steel, 440C. This 25, $30 knife is also stainless steel. I don't know what grade of stainless steel I'll have to go poke around and see if I can find a spec. But my guess is this is 420, it's 440A. I'm guessing it's 440A. So even in the difference of the steel, there's not much of a difference. It's not like this is like going to cut through solid metal and this one can only cut paper. No, like usually what you can cut with this one, you can cut with this one too. Okay, so there's not that big of a difference in the two, even though they are one is $300 and one is 25, $30. So don't let the price on the market set up your mind for you. Like you don't just want to go out and buy an expensive knife because someone tell you it's a good knife. Okay, you can find amazing blades like this one in the $20, $30 range, perfectly balanced and really good to handle. Now, where I'm going to tell you guys is a different, like for me personally, and this is like a more academic kind of situation, is this K-Bar Explorer would make a much better fighting knife. It's a better fighting knife, right? Why is that? Because first, the shape of the handle is more rounded, fit in the hand a lot better. It's less of a chance for the knife to twist in your grip, and the rubberized handle means it doesn't slip as much. Now, so if you can stab and parry and stuff like that, it handles very beautiful. Also, despite uh, it being quite a big knife, it's almost feather light. This is a very light knife. Okay, so that can be good and bad for some people. Like some people like a heavy knife. I prefer a heavy knife. So some people like really light knife like this. Okay, so yeah, for $300 you get a better grip and a knife that is designed better for stabbing and light, quick work. But when we talk about this Bowie knife in my right hand, this is one heavy chopping knife. This is a knife that when you swing, you feel the power, you feel the weight behind the blade. This actually makes a much better work knife than the K-Bar Explorer. So I don't know about you guys. When I buy a knife, I'm more thinking about, okay, can I get use this knife for survival, for work? I'm not just thinking about I'm going to buy a perfect fighting knife because I'm going to get into a knife fight every day. That would be silly, right? Because I've been handling knives my whole life. I How many knife fights have I gotten into? Zilch, zero. That's why I'm still alive, right? So if you buy a knife, that's good, just good, really good fighting knife. Not good for anything else. That's silly, right? You when you pick a knife, it should be good for handling, for work, for multi-purpose reasons, right? And this Mossy Oak knife is a very good knife. Like if you look at the profile, it actually very similar to a lot of your big butcher knife in your kitchen, which means if you're at a campsite and you need to use this to cut vegetable, cut meat, this is perfect. The handle's almost like a good kitchen knife, right? It's very sturdy, very good for that. And if you need to use it to hammer tent stake or you use it to hammer something, there's a bit of exposed metal in the back here that you can use for that. It's not as good as a regular K-bar U.S. Marine knife, obviously. That will always be my favorite. But this is good. Now, why do I say this is not perfect for fighting? At least not for me, because I feel that my hand is a little bit too small for this. The handle is quite thick. So I've noticed that when I'm doing knife forms, this feels like it almost wants to twist in my grip. This kind of flat grip sometimes will turn if your edge hit a little bit off. So I prefer a more rounded grip myself. So this to me this is not a good fighting knife, But like I said, I'm never getting into a knife fight anyway. Now, some people may get confused and say, so are you saying this is not a good knife for self-defense? That's not what I'm saying. As long as you're not going to get into a Rambo style, Hollywood style knife fight, if your goal is to, hey, have a knife to whip out of your pocket or whip off your belt for self-defense when someone or something threaten your safety, this is a heck of an intimidating knife. Right? It's big, heavy, super sharp, super pointy, feel good in hand. Yeah, I don't foresee that it's being a problem. Like I think if I have need for a knife and I pull this out, I don't foresee that too many people is going to argue with me after that, after seeing something like this, right? So yeah, it's not a good knife for like hand-to-hand knife combat because of the grip design, but if you really just need a knife for self-defense, it's fine. It's big, it's sharp, sharp end going into your enemy. That's it. Nothing complicated about that. So, if you have been wanting a big hunting knife, Bowie knife, then Mossy Oak is a very good choice. Mossy Oak, 14 inches, Bowie knife. You can get it on Amazon. And no, they are not paying me to advertise for them. I am just very impressed by this new toy and I want to tell everybody about it. Thank you for checking out today's Tactical Tuesday. We'll be back again tomorrow for Wisdom Wednesday. For now, have a good night.